Taking a look at your health as we approach Men's Health Awareness Month this June, one question is creating substantial changes across the mental health industry. How do we get more men to go into therapy?
I spoke with Dr. Dave Rabin, a psychiatrist and co-founder of Apollo Neuroscience, about why it's so important and what other treatments can help with chronic stress.
I feel like this is a question that probably a lot of people have asked is why won't the man in my life go to therapy? It's almost a joke on the internet, but honestly, speaking in broad generalizations here, why is it often difficult for men to seek therapy and mental health support?
It's a really great question, and it's not a new question. I think the challenge is that we as men are, even from a very, very young age, are not really taught that it's okay to feel our feelings and to be sensitive. And so our sensitivity is often discouraged, and that means sensitivity to all of our kind of vulnerable feelings, and vulnerability is what is uncovered in psychotherapy and talk therapy. And that is really the source of all healing that we really seek to uncover as a therapist and a psychiatrist when we're working with people. That's the good stuff, right? That's the meat of the healing experience for people. So as men, when we're taught, hey, you should be strong and masculine, and this idea of masculine is don't show vulnerability, don't show any signs of weakness or any signs of not being able to hold strong and take care of everyone all the time, which is not unique to which is like it's a very like male masculine idea that it makes us not so open to participate in therapy. But I think the ultimate solution to that is to understand that vulnerability is not a weakness, and the idea of weakness is not sensitivity. Sensitivity is actually a superpower and a strength, and that's what we work with people to help to understand in the therapy process.
Are there any particular approaches that you feel like men respond best to, maybe in a way that's different than women?
I think men respond to not necessarily different than women, but to your point, where a lot of men are uncomfortable verbalizing what's going on inside because it can make us feel uncomfortable, and we're not taught to do it. The tools that are more nonverbal are actually very helpful for men. So those include things like physical pursuits, like doing exercise, which gets energy in the head and the body out. So it's really like channeling energy and restlessness out into an athletic pursuit is really, really helpful. And we recommend doing that, in a healthy way, really getting your heart rate up, 15 to 30 minutes a day can be really helpful. Doing some breath work, 4-7-8 breathing and breath work like that can be really helpful, just calming the body. And then tools like soothing touch and soothing music can be extremely helpful because they don't require us to say anything, but they do allow us to start to feel calm and recognize the ability to feel calm in our bodies. And Apollo is a tool that's nonverbal that we developed at the University of Pittsburgh that delivers soothing vibrations to the body based on the science of touch that helps us to feel calm and settled and effectively self-regulate our own anxiety and discomfort, which is really nice. And more tools like this are coming out that can help us to achieve these states of calm on the go.
When we talk about the benefits of therapy, what's at stake here? What have you been able to see in terms of, changes in your patients' lives when they're able to successfully apply a therapy program?
So I think one of the biggest sources we see of mental illness is, simply put, feeling uncomfortable in our own skin, or effectively not feeling safe to be ourselves. And when we're taught that they're like, usually from childhood or early school years, where we're told that there's certain parts of us that are not okay, like the sad parts, the sensitive parts, the angry parts, that they're not allowed to coexist with the group or with everything else that's going on, that we repress or suppress those feeling parts, and we effectively suppress our feelings. And we are feeling machines as human beings. That is what we are. And so if we suppress the source of what we are, which is feeling, then we will sign ourselves up for discomfort and eventually mental illness, because we will have to feel at some point. And so the real benefit of talk therapy and just having somebody in our lives, whether you're doing therapy or not, just having somebody in your life that you can talk to non-judgmentally, who will listen to you and just hear you and make sure it's okay to feel the way you feel, is really just setting the safe space to feel. And that is the fundamentally most important part of therapy. And it transforms people's lives by just allowing them to self-accept. And if we can accept ourselves, and all of a sudden the healing transformation unlocks for us.
And if you want to learn more about the Apollo Touch and different types of therapy that Dr. Rabin uses, you can visit apolloneuro.com.
Yeah.